Here we go. Who the hell are you, man? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the Knights!
Hold on to your butt.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, and welcome to the Knights of Nerdatude podcast for all things nerd. I'm your host, Sean, and I am joined on the Skype hotline with...
I don't fuck my pig. It's Sam.
Explicit rating.
I'm too busy. Damn it. I fucked it up. I messed. I was going to rip on the Cowboys.
No, nobody's allowed to, considering all the teams were knocked out. So
I didn't even make it.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And my team got destroyed, so...
I mean, I stand by. My team shouldn't have made it. We tied the Lions.
Yeah, you did. Anyway.
That was an automatic disqualifier.
Freedom. That's all I'm going to say. It's freedom.
All right, well, based on that mumble jump intro from you three...
I was fine, all right.
That's true. So you two. So we're all here. Missed last week because the COVID bug is still making its rounds. I ended up with COVID last time, so that's why we were unable to record. But that just means we have more to talk about today, luckily.
We're more likely to miss next week because of the two that are left. Maybe one will get it.
Yeah, my money's on Chris. Chris, you're going to be next.
Yeah,
we'll see. You just got to get it.
We'll see.
You get it, and then it's done.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's like the third or fourth time for you probably at this point, so...
Anyway.
Like second or third, I mean.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a few things. We got some news to talk about. HBO Max's the Peacemaker came out with John Cena. I almost said John C. Reilly.
John Cena.
John Cena. We're going to talk a little bit about Book of Boba Fett. We've got, was it the Tragedy of Macbeth? John and Chris both watched it, and they want to review it.
We're going to talk about it.
We also have Pig, starring Nicolas Cage, to talk about. So let's start right off with news. John, you want to start with yours first?
Sure, Sean.
All right.
So, big news out of the land of giant lizards. Coming to Apple TV, no date given, this is just announced, a live-action Godzilla series from Legendary Television.
Ooh.
Which will feature Godzilla and other titans.
Damn.
Oh, Apple, you might be getting a new subscriber.
That is an odd fit.
It is.
Like, Apple,
Yeah.
Apple's kind of like selling itself as like the premier subscription service, and all of a sudden they're just like, screw it, kaiju.
But it's also, remember when Apple first started doing, like announcing this streaming thing, 3 years ago? The amount of money that they dumped on content was I think it was just boatloads more than Netflix. Or was that Prime? I don't know. Apple was throwing a boatload of money.
It might have been comparable to Netflix, despite Netflix probably making 3 times the amount of programming for that amount.
Yeah, because Apple started off with the morning show, right? That was their big...
I think the beginning announcement was they were going to spend $3 billion on content.
Yeah. So I think this makes sense. I think they're just swinging their massive money wad around and buying everything that they can.
I'm wondering, so HBO has all the Godzilla movies. I only know that because, like I stated many, many podcasts ago, when I'm sick, I watch one movie, and it's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and when I had COVID, that did not fail. So,
like the monkey one?
Yeah, the original.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another one.
There's several, Sam.
Yeah.
There's several. So I watched the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. So, but all the Godzilla movies are on HBO, which is great. I love it. But yeah, that's odd that Legendary would then turn around and go with Apple.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they're not a part of Warner Brothers. They're just
Right.
like they're distributing it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Good for them. Good for them. I don't like these merge monopoly type things anymore.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
but the odd thing is like I could see them being like going to like Toho, and being like, oh, we're gonna work
Right.
with Toho and make
Right, which-
a series, and
So
they could be
Shin-
like it's like a foreign artsy thing they could sell it off as, but like to go to
'Cause, like-
Legendary.
yeah, because Toho. So obviously, Shin Godzilla was the last Toho Godzilla movie, or live action Godzilla movie that has come out. And after the success of Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, Toho was like, all right, we're going to put ours on the back burner. You guys do your thing because you guys are doing so well. And then King of the Monsters flopped, but Godzilla versus Kong did really well.
Which is a shame. Like,
It is, right?
like King of the like somehow King Kong versus Godzilla did well, but King of the Monsters didn't.
Yeah, they were like, oh, there's too much monster fighting in this movie.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
thing
like that."
everyone's coming for.
Yeah, I this is stupid.
That
I want
Bradley
more like
Whitford acting like an insane person.
But
Like,
I mean,
that's
good.
why I'm here.
King of the Monsters wasn't technically a flop.
right, but
Yeah.
it didn't compared to the previous two. It
No,
didn't make
agreed,
as much
agreed.
money.
It wasn't because it wasn't.
And it was horribly received. And
Look,
like,
none of these Godzilla movies should ever be well received.
no, I agree. Unless it's from Toho.
Unless it's Shin Godzilla for some reason.
I beg to differ.
Did you watch Shin Godzilla?
No,
Chris?
because we tried to, but you had to
okay.
buy it from some
I own it.
shady.
So.
Or when it first
Oh,
came
yeah,
out, I
yeah.
had like some shady
Yeah,
website.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, just Shin Godzilla is the first Godzilla, Toho Godzilla movie where they just ignore the original. So it's like, what happens if Godzilla appears now? And it's more of a political drama than it is a kaiju movie. It's like, yeah, there's
It's this
kaijus in it,
weird
but
commentary on bureaucracy and stuff.
it's like,
that
and
I'm
global warming or climate change and what. It's
And, like,
so weird.
I'm
Can
just
you
like,
imagine
why are you
what's-
in my Godzilla movie? Like,
Mhm.
Can you
I-
imagine? We're not going to review Shin Godzilla, guys.
No, I know that.
But I kind of want to
but
talk
it just,
about it.
No, we already
it's
passed
it's
the boat on that
at
one.
like as a movie, it's a really good movie. Like for what it is, it's just really weird that it's like a good movie with a kaiju in it, where it's usually the reverse, where it's like a good kaiju movie with stupid people.
Look, we're just going to have to see what Legendary and Apple, which is a weird combination, as we said, we're going to have to see what they
Yep.
produce. Who knows? honestly, no idea. No
I'm
idea
excited.
what.
I am excited, and it's like part of me hopes this like falls through, and like HBO's like, don't worry, we'll pick you up, Legendary, and like Apple is just like back in the corner,
No.
covered in its own piss.
Can we talk about other announcements here for streaming TV?
Sure, we'll continue with that before and then I'll get into my news.
Oh, I don't think this
Go
is it. But Apple, Jesus, why am I there still? Prime released a little snippet there
Oh,
for the
yes.
new Lord of the Rings TV series called The Rings of Power.
Yeah,
And it looks, for the title, it seems like it's going to be a prequel to the the
Yeah,
Hobbit trilogy.
that's what was already announced.
Yeah, so
confirmed
they're just
that, yes.
confirming it. With
first
this.
stage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second age.
Yep.
And
yeah.
like, I for one, thank God,
Oh God, yeah.
because it's like we already have the Lord of the Rings, and while I understand there's a lot more there to the story, like, yeah, there's also just a shitload of other stuff they didn't cover that went on before the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, like Saruman is like 2,000 years old or something like that, or like 200,000. I forget. It's insane. Like how old these people, like the bad guy is, and like even that, like wizards are apparently like, I guess angels. manifested as like fleshy beings on Earth. Like it's so weird. Like I looked into it.
Let's get into some like Silmarillion like shit here. Like,
Yeah, it's
let's
man,
go
it's
crazy
like-
with this because it's like we already had Lord of the Rings. Give me some of this like crazy Tolkien other stuff. If you're gonna do a TV show, do that for me.
Plus, what I'm happy about too is that they're not trying to recast.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, it's hard to recast Gandalf.
And it's also hard to recast Frodo because Elijah Wood has not aged at all. So you could literally just point to him and be like, "Why did you just cast him again?"
Since this is all before, nobody should expect to see,
No,
previous.
this is thousands. This is a few thousand years before.
Yeah,
The
I mean, maybe Kate Blanchett, but that's like even then, that's
No.
Even then, that's
they're probably
I don't think-
recasting her.
yeah, they probably do a few things. Anyway,
But
like
Hugo Weaving.
Gollum, maybe.
Hugo Weaving.
no,
Yeah,
Because
Hugo Weaving.
like
Elrond.
this story is that like what is that like 5-second clip at the very beginning of Fellowship
the
of the
fight
Ring,
against Sauron.
that big battle, like that's what this is
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
I'd even go before then.
I saw- just to stay with but that's
well,
where
that
it
scene is like the climax of the story we're gonna
right.
watch.
Exactly,
We'll see.
because it's like, yeah.
We'll see.
But I saw something online and it was great. It was like a list of like 20 names, and it was like try to pick out the Tolkien characters from the antidepressants. And I looked at it, I was like, oh god, I can't.
That's a good.
Oh, it's so
I
hard.
should do
Good
that.
show.
I know my way around antidepressants, so let's see how I can do with that.
All right, so what we also got with this is surprisingly September release.
Yeah, September 22nd.
Yeah, I knew it was coming out this year.
Yeah, I didn't expect it in September. Honestly, I thought it would be late, maybe Christmas. It seems like Prime does a nice little Christmas slate or December slate. The Expanse. We won't talk about that, but that is a December release from Prime. But anyway, September, this thing comes out. No trailer yet. We'll probably get something maybe
Yeah, we just got that release trailer.
July.
Yeah,
We'll get something in July.
We'll get something in early summer.
Yeah. Yep.
So
You're not sated from that trailer, Chris, of showing you what the name of the show is? That didn't get your fix?
no, I mean, look, I'm in 100%. It does. I don't care. I'm in. It's one of those franchises where it's like I don't truly love, but whatever you're giving me, I'll take it.
You know, it'd be great if the trailer came out, if they did like an April 1st trailer, but like instead of like an actual trailer, it's like orcs playing Wheel of Fortune or something.
Oh god.
I mean, we could get a main character as an orc.
Speaking of main characters, have you seen the cast for this?
I did when it first announced, but
It's
haven't
like
been
absolutely
back in like a year.
no one you've ever like.
That
It's at
could be
most like one guy I've seen in like another movie,
Yeah.
like sort of thing.
Yeah,
That could be good, but it could also be horrible.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like there is no middle ground when you have a cast of no one you've heard of.
right.
Yeah, that's
either
not
great
necessarily a
or
bad thing
terrible.
either. They're
It's like, oh, this could be really good,
I
or a
mean-
sci-fi original movie.
It's clearly a choice.
Yeah,
I mean, unless like they're literally spending so much on special effects.
no, they're
they
being
can't
wise.
pay actors?
They're being wise to the Game of Thrones method, where it's get a bunch of no names, get a couple. Well, I mean, Game of Thrones had a couple like big.
I don't
big
know. There's
names,
like
but-
no Sean Bean though. There's no guy who was on that CBS sitcom who's actually British. There's no,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
you
Sean Bean wasn't like top price.
Yeah, but
tag.
he got killed by James Bond.
he's still a
Yeah,
name.
he
though.
wasn't James.
he wasn't
Bond,
like a top price tag though.
No,
No,
I guess
he was
not,
like
but-
a C-list movie
Yeah, but
actor.
he's still a name that you attach to
Yeah.
it to draw interest.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, this doesn't really need that. Everybody knows the Lord of the Rings.
yeah, but you don't want to
Plus
go
you-
overboard with price.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they
you gotta
do.
feel too like it's $1 billion series. They're spending so much that like if they were trying to like cast big names, like they would just get raked over the coals because they know they need people in it. So maybe that was it too. Of like we have a huge cast, we can't get all names, and if we just have like one or two, we're gonna look super cheap or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
It's possible.
But it's like,
I mean,
anyway.
it's also $1 billion for 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah,
It's not just
6
one
episodes a
season.
pop.
Yeah.
That's what they're producing. They produced 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Okay.
they greenlit 2 seasons of this.
Right.
You know what? I don't want to say it because I know it would open up a can of worms, but I kind of miss like 23 episode seasons for some things. Not everything, but for some things. Just
Some
we
things.
have
Even going from like 10 to 12, I feel like would be cool.
Yeah,
Well-
we're getting into this whole limited series kind of definition of TV.
Chris,
now.
I agree with you in like sitcom comedies where like each episode is kind of its own encapsulated story. Where it's like dramas and stuff like that. It's like that's just too long, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, just look at how, like, some of the early seasons worked for, like, Flash and Arrow, but, like, 23 episode seasons, they dragged at times.
It's just
You know, it's
And,
a
like-
good amount of number of episodes. 24.
24.
Right, Chris?
24. Yeah, 24 was the best 24 episode long. And then they cut. What did they do? They cut it in half and did 2-hour increments or something like that.
called it 12.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, that was when they.
That was like the reboot series.
No, that was the last season with the red haired lady.
Anyway.
The mom in the Hulu Marvel TV show. What's her name? It's gonna kill me.
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
Hulu TV show. The
Oh, from Runaways?
yeah, the mom.
You mean the mom from the redheaded mom?
Yeah, she was in the last season, 24.
Still have not watched the last season of that show. I got up to the first appearance of Elizabeth Hurley, and then I was like, anyways.
Talk about not aging. Anyway.
Yeah, right?
Where the hell are we? What are
I got-
Did we
I
get
got-
through all the movie stuff?
Oh, I think so.
Do you have any news?
I have news, guys. Going to the land of video games, a place that we dabble in a lot but rarely talk about.
well, I mean, me and John could talk about HOI, but like I don't think they're
Yeah, we can talk about the No Step Back.
Yeah. and like
Yeah.
how weird
DLC.
trains are in this, but like I kind of also
Yeah.
like it because like I like the addition that you can like build like infrastructure in your allies, which was always annoying.
Yeah. And then you can bomb it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyways,
Also, the game crashes. But, yeah, big.
Yeah.
Are you going for the actual big news this
Yeah,
week?
I'm
Okay.
I'm going for the big one. Going swinging for the fences here. For $70 billion with a B dollars, Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard.
Well, they're going through the process.
Right, they're going through the process. It should be finalized somewhere between June of this year and June of next year, they're saying. Which, if you don't know what Activision Blizzard is, probably one of the biggest sellers that they have
Which, like,
is Call
a
of
few
Duty.
years ago, Activision and Blizzard merging together was a thing.
Right.
Those are two
And
big
now,
studios that merging.
Now Microsoft owns it, and so now, they're in the process of owning it, which means Microsoft will have full access to Call of Duty, which somehow is still a big game. I don't understand it. I'm pretty
Listen,
sure
Sean,
Call
there
of Duty.
will always be 16-year-olds.
That's true, or like 40-year-olds who think they're 16.
Yeah.
Call of Duty bros. If you're a Call of Duty bro, I'm sorry I just insulted you.
I'm a Call of Duty bro
Why?
Why?
because I like first person
Like-
shooters. And that's
Like you
your
I know
standard.
are worse
That's your
than
standard.
people who play Madden.
No, yeah, Chris, like first-person shooters are fine and all, and there are so many better ones out there, especially over the past 10 years. Call of Duty has like diminished its sense. I'll give it since Black Ops, the
I'm
first.
just
Black
curious.
Ops.
What games are first person shooters that are better? I
mean-
I don't play a lot, so I'm just
No, I know.
GoldenEye.
no. In the past 10 years, like
I don't know. I don't normally play first-person shooters. I play like open-world games that are not by Ubisoft or Ubisoft or whatever you want to call it.
That's a pretty big thing just to put out there, Sean, with nothing to back it up.
So all right. So Halo Infinite. How about that? The Doom games, Doom Eternal and Doom. Any of the BioShocks.
Dude, I was watching this interview with John
shooter?
Carpenter from like a couple of years back, and he was just talking about all the video games he's playing.
Yeah, he came out recently and said Halo Infinite is the best Halo game he's ever played.
Really?
Which I was like, A, holy crap, he plays video games, and B, no it isn't. I haven't even played Halo Infinite, and I can already tell you it's not the best Halo.
Although I've heard good things.
I have heard very good things. But like,
So
it's
we're
an
super
open world
hypocritical
game.
here.
No,
Sean,
I know
you're
that.
like only talking about things you can't back up. To.
Anyway,
All right, well,
it's true, but
but
you know,
like,
well, I
whatever.
don't have a new Xbox, and like I'm not gonna get it on the on my PC because I'd rather play it on the Xbox. But like, good luck finding an Xbox.
So
or a
we
PS5
can't
right
talk
now.
Yeah,
about first
can
person
I-
shooters right now. Look,
So
World of
real
Warcraft
quick on
is
that.
Blizzard. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Sure.
And Diablo, done.
Yes.
Blizzard.
StarCraft.
Overwatch.
Yep.
So you still can't get Xbox
Apex.
One series or whatever it is, X series, whatever the hell.
I mean, you probably can, but they're super rare. The problem is that the processing chips,
Yeah.
because of the shortage.
Yeah.
No one carries these things.
Okay.
So PlayStation, Xbox, even to a point, Nintendo is suffering from the lack of product out there.
I
Unfortunately,
mean, I know it's like impossible to get a video card or like a high end one.
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, so imagine trying to get a brand new system with that.
Yeah, just
So
Right.
something that's in high demand.
Just when
on
those
these
crypto
ones.
mining farms started taking off, they bought
Yeah.
all the video.
Weird
cards.
coincidence.
So, but yeah,
But-
like I know it come next month. There's like a bunch of really highly anticipated games that are coming out. I believe I'm getting Elden Ring, which is that George R.R. Martin game that's coming out by the Dark Souls people. I'll be getting that, so I'll be able to actually review that because everyone at work is doing it.
But
too,
I
so.
have an actual take on what we were
Ooh.
actually talking about. Is that
Blizzard.
like Microsoft seems to be turning into the Disney of the video gaming world, where
Well,
it's like they're
yes.
just buying everything that's popular.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, because
They failed on the last, like horribly failed on the Xbox One.
yeah, and
Like it was a horrible failure. So, you look at PlayStation's games and what they had brought to the table, and they had like Horizon, they had the Spider-Man games, like obviously all the JRPGs and stuff. Like they had a lot of great games. Xbox had what?
plus like
Halo.
there's this like
Halo 5?
this is like I'm getting this vibe from Microsoft where it's like they're like, yeah, I don't know if gaming consoles are gonna be a thing for a while, but we got PCs like cornered,
Mhm.
so let's just like buy up all these video game makers.
Yeah.
No,
And
that's what it is.
That way we
Yeah,
can
'cause
have
this is
them
the
all be
second
just
big one.
PC exclusive, and we could just
Right.
bank on that market.
Well, no, that's not it. It's not because the one bombed. It's because during, I think it was the E3 before that, they all had this thing about like cross playing things between your
Yeah.
PC and your
yeah.
Xbox
Yeah.
and stuff
Well,
like that.
Cross-platform.
And the
That's
thing is,
cross-platform.
yeah,
Microsoft's
you're
big
right.
on
They
that.
want to. They have the PC kind of cornered regarding programs and stuff.
Yeah,
So they're just, I think you're right. They're just buying it to corner the PC game market because, let's face it, I mean, Warcraft is a monthly fee, as is
Yeah.
a few of these other things, and it's just a consistent stream of money.
Yeah.
And you're getting a thing that creates games that you can now play on both your Xbox and your computer and your phone. Like at some point, we're going to see Microsoft. I can see them starting to get into the phone game.
they already did.
I really
And
do.
then-
Well,
like, flop.
Activision is, yeah, Yeah, it flopped. Activision is in the. There's a Call of Duty phone game.
Yeah, so they're great.
out
I think
there,
this
so,
is.
like, Activision's already in it.
I think this
but,
is more of a solid attempt to try and get into the phone world without. I think that's like the thing they want to do. I think the end game is get into the digital platforms, PC, gaming, and phone. They tried with the phone.
PC is huge, but to give you an idea, though, after this was announced, this is why I think this is Microsoft trying to compete with PlayStation. After this was announced, Sony's stocks dropped 13% after it was announced.
Yeah,
I'm 100% sure this is a console war move.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's look in any like takeover type of thing like that. That always happens. The competitors always.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but this is all 100% because, like, you ask anybody who console games, like not PC but consoles, ask them which one they prefer, the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. It's 100% the Xbox, the PlayStation 4. It had so many better games.
I'm not. I'm just saying it's not because of console wars. The price dropping 13% is not that's not the reason. It's just it drops. This is what happens.
I
in the game.
I understand, but like they wouldn't go after Activision to buy it if it wasn't a suck it Sony kind of move. Like, we realized our problem last time was we had no good exclusives. Let's go out there and buy exclusives.
Well, there you go. But, what's the value of them doing that? And then, I mean, if you have Activision and you can only now sell half of their stuff, or sell like only to half of, to Microsoft and Xbox versus, PlayStation. I mean, that really like kneecaps their value. But I don't know, I think it's content is king though. Like you got to go get the good IP.
Yeah.
Like exactly what Sam said. Let's just gobble up all the popular stuff and just
it's exactly what
go
Disney
from
did
there.
with like movies and TV, where it's just let's buy everything that's popular, and we will become the behemoth of the video game world.
Plus, in 9 years when we're all in the metaverse, it's going to look so much cooler when like we're just doing the podcast, but literally playing Call of Duty at the same time.
Oh God!
Talking about the 4th Avatar movie.
John, how many years in the future is this?
9.
We're talking about the 3rd Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah, I look for those still listening to this episode. I'm going.
I think it's interesting.
We're going to do a
good
2022 movie preview, but we're going to wait a few weeks to see if any Avatar news comes out that it's going to be this year.
Yeah, right. I mean, we already got a bunch of stuff that's like being shifted around. Black Panther just got pushed back again.
That's understandable. Like that's the one movie that don't pay attention to a date.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah,
But they've been filming. They filmed like in Worcester.
Look,
and they stopped because of COVID.
I'm giving all
Lupita Nyong'o.
all the leeway. I'm giving all the leeway to Black
No,
Panther.
it's not.
Let them just do whatever they want.
It's not her. It's his sister.
No, that originally, yes, they just shut down either today or yesterday because of her.
Like
Nyong'o
it just
got,
happened?
yeah, she just got COVID, so they had to shut. It was like her and a few other members of the crew.
Where
got
were they
COVID.
filming? Worcester?
They were at one point.
Oh Jesus!
I'm sure that was.
Bottom of the barrel.
I know, right?
Are you sure that this is not an Obi-Wan situation where it's like Worcester, England?
No, like Worcester.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. Speaking of
Filthy
Worcester, random thought. So apparently the Woo Sox are not doing well financially up in
Let's not.
I know, right?
Let's not. We're not going to get into that local politics
Worcester
issue.
sucks.
Here. Okay, moving on.
That's not politics.
This is a chalk. Like this is a full episode.
Yeah,
I know.
This is
All right,
going
so
5 hours tonight.
all right, so any other news? Anybody got anything
no,
else?
Just move on.
Moving right into Peacemaker then on HBO.
Freedom. Look,
Chris, go ahead.
I don't-
You can take
look,
this one.
Okay, so Peacemaker is just the character from the most recent Suicide Squad movie.
The
And
Suicide
apparently
Squad.
I'm sorry, whatever. Apparently, he was big enough to have his own TV show, and it's starring John Cena. Let me let me start off by saying this. It was a three episode premiere drop. Mm-hmm. The first, I want to say like the first 10 minutes, which is the hospital and the introduction, are quite possibly the best definition of one's acting career than anything else. Like, this first 10 minutes of that show sum up John Cena to a T. And it's awesome. And it's so awesome. And mostly just referring to the little dance that they have. Because it said the intro and it's like skip intro. And I'm like hovering over the button. I'm like, you know what? I should skip the intro. But, you know,
Yeah.
and I watched it.
I heard
like, I'm just,
Gunn was like, I want to make an intro that you don't want to skip through.
yeah.
I'll be damned. I didn't want to skip through that.
It's
Yeah, I wanted to watch it one time.
the stupidest
I
thing
skip through it every
you will
time.
ever see. But it's so worth it. Just to watch
I
it
enjoyed
once.
everyone doing that stupid dance the whole time. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I could not get it out of my mind.
Right. Right?
Like, I watched all 3 episodes. Unlike Sean, I watched it every time.
Did you really?
In fact, I've like gone back and watched it again.
I can't. Just everything about that just screams, wow. This
Yes.
show is going to be stupid. But, you know, it kind of works in such a way. Like, it's not
the good kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna live and die by this show. This is gonna be entertaining once a week, you know, because you'll watch the dance again, and it'll just remind you of how stupid it is.
It's just gonna be stupid fun.
His best friend is named Eagly.
Yeah, and he hugs them. It's the eagle that actually hugs people,
that was,
which I love.
The CGI is a little. You need to get over the CGI a little bit.
Yeah, it's a TV show. Like,
it is a
Can
little.
we
rough.
talk
Exactly,
about?
yeah.
Should we talk about the fight that was like all CGI, but like it's not supposed to be CGI?
Is this the first
What
episode?
between
or?
the girl and
when he's
and
fighting the
Peacemaker?
like
Butterfly.
or whatever?
Yeah.
That
first
like
one.
freaked me out. Like that was a like just taking a nice like river hike or river ride through the uncanny valley the whole time. And like I don't know, I guess is that like a money saving thing? Like it was all CGI, right? Like I'm not crazy.
Most of it was.
Yeah, I saw a lot.
Which like it was the sort of CGI that like you don't need CGI to do, but it's probably just cheaper and more efficient.
You don't have to pay a person to do it. Like
right.
stunts.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you have to
some of
pay
it
stunts.
was,
you have to
you know,
pay the insurance for the stunts.
You have to film it. It takes time.
Film
It's
it.
not
You have to
just-
build the props and the sets to fall apart the way they do and whatnot.
and to like reset so you can film it again.
Right. So yeah, I guess money. I mean, CGI is expensive, but I feel like in those kind of instances, yeah, it's a money saving thing.
Yeah. But it's like it's just one of those shows where you honestly first watching it, no idea what to expect. No idea. Did not read up on it. Had
Really?
no clue what was going on. I knew who Peacemaker was, but like that's my extent. Nothing.
But you saw Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and I saw
like,
Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
I mean,
But it's just I didn't. Number one, didn't know it was rated R. So like when he's banging in the toilet or in the bathroom and he just screams freedom, I'm like, wow. No idea this show was going this direction.
Yeah,
And
that was hilarious though. Him screaming freedom.
that was
Oh my god, that got me.
it was such like a peak of my I don't know when I watched it, but it was like the peak of my day when I'm just like, well, this is interesting. And then he screams freedom as he's doing it. And it's just like, wow, John Cena. Wow. And then he
I
just
love when they had the
runs around and dances in his underwear with just
Oh god, singing to the music.
what the heck was it? I forget what band it was when he was playing. Was it
I
Queen?
know
Was it Queen?
no,
No, it was not Queen. These are all like 80s hair metal.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
obscure 80s hair metal. Because like was it Cinderella is one of them, which is like such an obscure band.
I mean,
But like I guess it
it's
kind of
James
works.
Gunn's like go-to thing.
Right. Oh yeah, he loves using like music as music in his movies.
So apparently he just like wrote this at the start of COVID just because he had nothing else to do with like really like no intention of it getting made, but they still made it, which I kind of just love.
Yeah.
You know, like I I wish we got more stuff like this. And the problem is that, well, I don't want to get to like bitching people out, but like if it's Marvel or DC, there's only one that's really going to like make this sort of thing. So
Yeah.
especially now.
Oh, you're right. There's the inevitable like race discussion that's going to come out of this. It's inevitable, especially with Robert Patrick as the dad and all of his.
That's not what I was thinking.
Well, no, I was thinking like there's going to be, like this is not going to be. This would never be on network TV, obviously.
Well, yeah, but
But
what
it
I'm
wouldn't
thinking
even be
is
Disney streaming for Marvel.
there's no
No
chance
way.
this would be Disney. This would be
No.
possibly Fox if they still had like a thing. But
Maybe.
once Disney bought Fox, it's not something that they would do. I mean, like, there's still talks that Blade is going to be PG-13. Like, how?
Yeah, a sword guy. Like,
Yeah,
that's
a guy
impossible.
killing
Cutting off the
vampires.
heads
Yeah,
of vampires. No.
Yeah, that's going to be PG-13? No.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of fear out there that Deadpool 3 that is happening is going to be PG-13. It's like, it can't. It cannot
I
be
mean, like,
PG-13. Like, it's got to be
The
R.
only thing with that is like I remember seeing Feige come out and say no, it's going to be R.
Yeah.
Which,
Right. Oh,
granted,
but,
like they can always rescind on that, but
Right.
You know, I will give HBO credit for doing
Yeah.
doing shows like this, like Watchmen, and I will give them credit for that. They do have, they do have cojones for it.
Especially when it comes to their properties, DC. I don't know how much comics you read anymore, Chris, but a good portion of DC's comics are under the Black Label, which is their like these are the mature kind of comics. Like most of what they make now, what they produce now in comic book shops are under the Black Label. So they're putting out a more mature thing, content wise. So I mean, yeah, it makes sense that like I'm okay with this if Warner Brothers and DC were like, all right, rather than trying to go with the Justice League or the Flash or anything like that's like a family friendly, let's just start going like the Joker or
Kite Man.
you know, Kite Man. No,
Well, the
but
Flash
like
is still happening.
Peacemaker. I know it's like the final movie in the Justice League.
Did you guys know Kite Man is like in like the Harley Quinn show as like a recurring bit?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you either of you watched that at all?
I have not.
No.
There's several shows on HBO that I really need to get into that are DC. But like I would love for DC to sit down and just be like, we're done making these things. Like we love the fact that Batman is such like a serious kind of thing. Let's just go rated R with everything. Let's just go like either batshit crazy or super serious and violent.
I'm cool
Like,
with that if it's a comedy. But like when they start going into these like serious stuff, it's just like, dude, this is a guy in his underwear punching people. Like
I don't know, man. But like, would you say The Expendables is like a super serious movie?
like, okay, if it's going like ridiculous like that, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
If it's like a
superheroes.
tongue-in-cheek,
But that's what
like,
it is. It's like pulpy.
tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah.
pulpy, like ridiculousness. But it's just the issue I had with like the Snyderverse was it took itself way too seriously.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want like outside of Batman, you don't want.
It's like don't
that.
take yourself seriously. I'm okay if you're going R, but just don't take yourself seriously.
Yeah.
Well, in taking yourself too seriously news in DC, we have a runtime for Batman.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what that is?
Is it upwards of?
This is without credits. This is without this. That's the thing that.
Is
pisses
it
me.
upwards
This
of
is without
240?
credits. Yes.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna watch it.
It's like isn't it like 248?
It is 2:55 with about 8 minutes of credits.
2 hours and 55 minutes.
Almost a
It's almost
3
3 hours.
This movie's gonna
Dude,
suck.
I bet I can already call you. I'm gonna call it now. You can edit out Batwoman, and this movie will still be fine.
You mean Catwoman?
Catwoman? I'm sorry, and it will still be fine. I think it's a mistake having her in there in the first place.
See,
Too
I
many
think-
cooks?
No.
See, my
yeah,
feeling is
there you go,
like,
John.
yeah, she's gonna be a bit like crowbarred in, but like that's the kind of thing where I might see it and be like, that was the only good part.
No, I think the thing that this movie's going to suffer from, and I mean this is all speculative, is the fact that Catwoman's a villain, Penguin's a villain, and the Riddler is apparently
Is
the
it
major
in there
villain.
somewhere. Yeah.
No, like
the
he's
villain-
supposed to
the
be like
villain
the
complex.
major villain.
Yeah, too many.
So
in.
like you have three, like John said, too many cooks. Like there's so much going on in this 3-hour movie. There's no reason for that.
We are also now living in the age of a 3-hour Warner Brothers movie and a 10-hour limited HBO Max series, because they are going to do a Penguin limited series on the back end. And then they're also going to do. They're doing that, and then they're doing some like Commissioner Gordon Police Department show as well.
Look,
Yep.
If HBO still or Warner Brothers, I guess, sticks with this, method of releasing wide in theaters and releasing simultaneously on their platform.
Oh, that's been abandoned though.
Has it been officially abandoned?
They're not doing it this year.
Yeah,
it might come back, but they're not doing it this year.
I don't know if I can get behind them kicking out this stuff, like 3-hour movies for a non-proven character that's already been proven to not have an equal.
You're right. Coming out of the box with this is like a little much. Like if you told me like the third movie in the trilogy is almost 3 hours, I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah, because then I'm like, oh yeah, if this is the third movie, there's going to be a lot of like things that need to be tied up and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I don't even think Dune was 3 hours, right? Dune was 2 and change, 2 and 20.
I think it was like 2.4 or 2.
It wasn't that far from it.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
Yeah, but it's
But so much stuff
Yeah, but
happens.
it's like something. It's something new.
Yeah, nothing happened.
We've seen
235.
Batman. We've seen a good Batman before. We've seen a good Catwoman before.
Yeah, like
Have we?
Not movie, but like
Michelle
character.
Pfeiffer was fine.
Not even that. It's even in Anne Hathaway was fine. Like it's
No, she was not.
I'd say she was
thought she was fine.
It's just
She
the
was
movie
not.
just didn't use her very well.
I'm just
yes.
more or less. This movie is going to be a litmus test for me for like how DC is going forward, because like this is finally they're like stepping away from the Snyderverse, and if this is how they're going to treat their properties, where it's like 3-hour movies,
let's
no,
Yeah, but
I don't
let's
want to do
step
it.
Wonder
away
Woman
from-
84 would have been the litmus test.
But
What?
Wonder Woman 84 should have been the litmus test.
No, that didn't count.
yeah.
Not all of us gave Wonder Woman a 9.
That's
The
true.
first one.
Yeah, not like I'm pretty sure mine was a high 7.
We're not going
Anyway,
into this, so it's not going to change.
Any other Peacemaker thoughts? We're kind of going along.
It's okay. It took a while to really get into what was going on, because like the whole time. But I think my biggest complaint about it, and I'm sure you guys might feel the same. Like, first of all, I loved Robert Patrick being his dad. Like, that's a great choice, great casting.
Yeah, I have to admit that was a good one. That was a good one.
Incredible
I
callback to the Marine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But my biggest complaint about this is how come every funny superhero has to be Deadpool?
Oh, they're
Vigilante?
only funny in that way.
Yeah. Like Vigilante, it's like you put him in a red suit. Oh, look, it's Deadpool.
Oh, well, yeah, that part too. Well, just the thing for me with like James Gunn stuff is like I don't know if it's like 70-30 or like 60-40 of like comedy working, not working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some of it's like just like a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's a little too clever.
Like, he was fine, but like he definitely was giving off very strong Deadpool vibes. I'm not saying like the costume. I'm just saying like in like the style of comedy.
We're falling into this. We're falling into the. There's so many out there that we're going to start overlapping a little bit here. Like we're getting to that point, if not.
But like John Peacemaker's a funny character. Like he's hilarious. And does he remind you of anybody? Not really. He's just kind of like he described it for Suicide Squad. He's a douchey Captain America. Like, that's fine. But, like, why does Vigilante have to be, like, a carbon copy of Deadpool?
I see. I wasn't really getting that.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that either, dude.
I feel like next time you watch it, you might see it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't even know how important Vigilante is. Oh, I did love that the like threesome pillow talk.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It's just this show just takes some, just goes some places, man.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
It'll be fine. It's just the way that the third episode ended. It's like, holy crap! How is this going to be a small TV show?
Yeah. Well, I think too, I do like how the sort of explaining the overall plot doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Like, yeah, it kind of does, but they like keep asking like, "Oh, what are butterflies or whatever?" And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't. Whatever. Just like just show me some things blowing up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I also not digging how Peacemaker apparently can't kill anymore. Just let him kill.
Look, this is where the storylines are going, so
I know.
you can see where it's all kind of.
Yeah, I know.
laid out
He's gonna have a hero redemption story kind of thing,
Yeah.
but like that kind of sucks. Like I'd rather him just go out there and just shoot everyone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be so sure. You guys think we're going to see Weasel at all? I went back and watched Suicide Squad.
I don't know. There's a chance. It is James
Probably.
Gunn.
I feel like he'll show
It
up.
could-
Sean
it
will
could.
show up
Alive.
at some point. His brother.
Yeah, it's Sean Gunn. So I mean, like, why not?
Well, I'm wondering if we're ever going to see anybody else. I don't think.
I don't know, like
very
Idris Elba
surprised-
just shows up in the last
right.
episode, kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not expecting it, but who knows? Who knows?
I love the bonding scene over dinner where they're talking about how Idris Elba's character is afraid of rats. And just Robert Patrick is just losing his shit the whole time, like thinks it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, was
He's
he
like-
the one that?
He's like, was he the one who shot you? And it's just silence.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right, let's move on to another very short that we can talk about. Book of Boba Fett. Really quick, let's talk about it. It's been a few weeks since we've talked about it.
Halfway through,
let's
right?
just say
We're halfway through.
Yeah, we're
4 episodes.
halfway through. The flashbacks have finally caught up with the Mandalorian, so it looks like we're done with those. And then it seems like there's a fight on our hands. There's going to be a war coming in the current plot line. So I
Look, the
yeah,
best
go ahead.
part about Star Wars now is the lore, like everything behind it, like the oh Jesus, Sand People, the
Tusken Raiders.
Tusken
Tusken
Raiders.
Raiders, yeah. These Tusken Raiders, like the ritual of becoming a warrior type thing, like that stuff is now cool.
Yeah.
Like
How they got their
that is
gaffy
cool.
sticks?
How they get the gaffa sticks, how they like craft it and
The
everything.
weird
and
lizard
the
thing that goes
Yes.
in their
Yeah.
nose.
Yep.
And it's like the Mandalorian, where like the armor building process, like all this stuff now. This is the best part of Star Wars. It's not
I
the
agree.
original trilogy characters, whatever. This is it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And this needs to continue. And
Yeah.
and it's kind of they're hitting their stride, I think, with these shows. Well, granted, we've only had 2, but we've had 3 seasons cumulatively, or 4. I don't know, whatever. We've seen a bunch of stuff.
This is the third.
Yeah, so
technically.
we've seen a bunch of this stuff, and we're getting to the point right now where we kind of know the method, where it's like almost Western, and then there's always like this epic kind of weird training montage that they do, like learning how to ride speeder bikes or whatever they're called, and riding the. What the heck is it? The
swoop bike.
Mandalorian thing. He was
Actually, no,
learning
they
how to
were
ride the
speeder
thing.
bikes.
But
Yeah.
like this is we're starting to see the formula and how it works, and and what's going to be even better. And I think this is true. And you correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of the last episode, we got different music. Like we got an intro music of
Oh,
So-
that's the Mandalorian, because they say,
that's the
we're-
Mandalorian
money
thing.
can buy hired guns, and then all of a sudden we get the Mandalorian theme song.
Yeah.
So I think I know where this is going.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like this is
God, I didn't
pseudo
make that
season
connection.
3
yeah,
of
we're
Mando.
about to enter.
Well,
season
I mean,
3.
it's
yeah.
I mean, it practically has.
Yeah.
Been. I mean,
Right.
just with
Yeah, the
Peace
whole
and
the
Brawl.
whole thing has been. I mean, and we're starting to see like characters cross over. Like you saw that the tech or the mechanic walk by with the 3, droids walk
Yeah.
by. Like you're starting to see that stuff,
Yeah.
and that's cool and that's interesting, and it's kind of a callback to the previous seasons. I'll just lump them all into one show anyway. But like the best part about Star Wars, and I love every second of it, even though I don't like Boba Fett as much as some people on this.
That's fine.
podcast.
That's fine.
You can just
I
say
still
my
think he's
name,
overrated.
Chris.
I still think he's overrated, but I'm just loving the building of the worlds.
Yeah.
And I just hope that,
I mean,
I'm not going to say her name, Kathleen. She never gets involved with this. I just really hope she never gets involved.
She is technically a producer on this show, but like, how
Look, this is
much do you think she has to say?
you and I
in
know
any
this
of
is the
like-
brainchild of Feige
Yes.
and
Feige.
Filoni.
No, not
Filoni.
Feige.
Filoni and Favreau.
Filoni and Favreau.
Favreau. Sorry, Favreau.
There's a lot of F's. There's a lot of
Yeah,
F's.
it is.
Yeah.
With respect to Kathleen Kennedy, though, Chris, you know, to quote episode 9, no one's ever really gone. So, I don't disagree with what your overall point is, Chris. I think where I kind of disagree is that this show really features any of that to me. Yeah, I'm glad we've been doing it totally by accident, like 2 episodes and 2 episodes. Because I don't think there's really much at all to talk about in any given episode. But
agree.
yeah, there's just something like I don't really care about Fennec. Boba Fett just, you know, it's not like I even, you know, have like turned off, but there's just no reason to turn on. You know, like he kind of hasn't given me any real reason to like grab a hold or really like understand where he's coming from or his motivations. I mean, I just think that was not a great move to like make a Boba Fett show but don't have the Boba Fett angle nailed down well enough. Like I don't think you could just be like inherently like, oh yeah, he's in the like, you know, stands up against the wall for 5 minutes in the original trilogy. That's enough to like base him on, you know.
That was my question I was going to ask. Like they made it, Sean. I want to get your opinion on how his personality is shaping up to what your expectations were, because, and I quote from you, these were the badass bounty hunters in the galaxy,
Yeah.
hired by whoever,
The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire, and like he's really not.
No, so the way I would put it is you have the difference between first time you see Boba Fett, or truly see Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, where he just like goes apeshit on all those stormtroopers, and it's like, oh man, this guy's awesome. And then you watch him in this show, and it's like every time he gets into a big skirmish. So there was the time in the town.
He's always in trouble.
He's always in trouble, and he can barely hold his own weight. Like, what the hell? It's like they nerfed this guy. Like, even when they faced off against the Sarlacc, like Fennec Sand was the one who killed it. She's the one who did the
Yeah, you're right.
the detonator. Like,
Also,
and yep.
I didn't quite understand the reason to go back either.
Well, he doesn't know where his armor is, so because remember, like
Oh, the
he
Jawas
was
took
left
it.
for dead.
Yeah, the Jawas took
Well,
it,
he
but he
doesn't
passed
know
out.
it was the Jawas. He was
Right.
he was left for dead outside of the mouth, so he thought it was still inside the Sarlacc. Which cool shot, but like it's one of the very few times in Star Wars where I'm like, that's not possible. Like, to take that ship and like turn it like that, it was a great shot. It looked really cool, but it's just not possible.
I
Like,
think this is
physically
one of those
possible.
moments of, dude, space wizards, calm down.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a great shot, them getting attacked by the Sarlacc beak, and then finally killing it. Like, I loved it. Anytime the detonator goes off and it goes, "Bwah,"
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Ah."
That's
Cool
how it
audio
was.
cue.
Yeah,
it's still
Yeah.
one of the best parts of that movie for sure.
yeah, oh yeah,
I did love when he was going after the speeder bike gang.
oh yeah, and it just annihilates them
So-
all.
Yeah.
Did you notice he does not refer to his ship as Slave One? He calls it a fire spray.
Oh man, I didn't even
No,
I didn't even pick it up.
Well, what a
Yeah.
tragedy. This show keeps doing something that's kind of annoying to me, in that like every time I'm almost like, do I really like this show? It just introduces something that just is not that important, but it just pulls me back in. And
Yeah. It's like a little flashy
Yeah,
piece of
like-
metal.
and the thing about this, and it's so specific to me, was the introduction of the mods.
Yeah, the boy band biker gang.
No.
The mods. Like, they are
Yeah.
like space version of that English gang. And what is my favorite album of all time? Quadrophenia, which is about mods. And now all of a sudden I'm back in. And also, I've been listening to Quadrophenia for the past like week. And I'm just like, damn it! They got the mirrors on the scooter things, and they're all dressed up in zoot suits, and just damn it, I'm back in. And then this last episode, I was just like, I mean, do I really enjoy this? And then it just ends with the Mandalorian sound, and I'm just like, damn it, pull me back in.
Right.
Like every time I'm almost like, is this that good? They just introduced something where I'm just like, all right, I'm back in.
I did find it funny that it was like, oh yeah, you can pay people to fight for you. Really? In Star Wars, a mercenary? Who would have thought? A hired gun.
In a conversation between two bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters, yeah.
And an assassin and a bounty hunter. She's not a bounty hunter. It's different.
I wonder if she knew Zan.
I mean, it's possible.
What'd you guys think about like the Mos Espa like car chase, for lack of a better term?
It was awful.
It was a skip moment, like a skip 10 seconds moment.
Oh yeah.
The whole time I'm
sitting
just
down
looking
watching
at the scooters and being like, they got all the mirrors, man.
No, and like the fact that
reminds
like
me of the Top Gear episode where they went to Vietnam and like rode mopeds.
See, what it reminded me of was, if you've ever seen Reno 911 the movie, there's a chase sequence on like those go-kart, like the golf cart.
Yeah.
And it's just them chasing each other on the golf carts going like 10 miles an hour. That's what that chase sequence reminded me of. Just them going so slow, being like, get out of the way, like crashing into things. But like, you could run faster. Like, these people are modded with, with cybernetic devices in their arms and legs and
that's
stuff. That's
the other thing. They have all these mods in them, so the name works. So they can just call them mods.
They're the
like
mod
the
squad.
actual British youth gang from the 60s and 50s.
Oh my.
Oh, God. Yeah. This show is definitely up and down, but I like being a Boba Fett fan. I've enjoyed it. But like I said, they have definitely nerfed who I expected Boba Fett to be, especially based off of what we saw in The Mandalorian.
To be honest, is like, okay, because it's like if he was just a total badass, then it'd be like, where's all the sense of danger?
Yeah.
But it was kind of unavoidable, I feel like.
Yeah.
Even though it still is unfortunate.
Because it's unfortunate, too, that for the past, 30 plus years, with Boba Fett being everywhere, like, he's this notorious bounty hunter. And then in this show, they're like, he shows up, I'm Boba Fett. They're like, yeah, so. Like, isn't he this like notorious bounty hunter that like everyone's afraid of, but no one in the show has like ever even heard of him? Like, how is this possible? So it's one of those expectations versus what I'm getting. It's definitely nerfing all of the expectations I was expecting.
I mean, that's one of those issues of you're gonna have to tell a good story, and if somebody walks in and it's like everyone fears and everyone respects, then like, where do we go from here?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I thought we were going somewhere with the Hutts, but apparently we're not.
Well, we might. We might.
Well, it's dealing with the what are they called?
The Pike. Oh, I'm so happy.
Who were just like, oh yeah, the Pikes. Don't you know about the Pikes, who are also fish, which is funny.
They're a huge Clone Wars syndicate. They're huge in the Clone Wars. Like they're part of a couple seasons at least.
I feel like we've said this now about like 10 or 12 organization of like, huge in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Well, this is where Filoni comes in.
It's almost like Filoni, was the showrunner on Clone Wars.
That would be hilarious if they just like didn't like acknowledge it at all. But anyway.
Yeah, anyway, we're halfway through. 3 episodes left.
We can kind of guess what the Pikes are, I guess.
Yeah.
Fish people, a syndicate. I got it.
A few episodes left. I'm excited, still coming home every day and sitting down in front of my TV and watching it. The difference between this and Mandalorian, though, unfortunately, is
No Baby Yoda.
I remember Mandalorian coming out. No. Every Friday, coming home, watching Mandalorian and being like super excited, but like before I would come home, be like, no, I can't see anything about this episode. No, blah, 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 blah. And this, I'm like,
No, you don't care.
Oh, there's a spoiler? I don't
Dude,
Yeah.
no Baby Yoda. Like, as like, as like useless as he was, and like kind of just a ploy to sell, plushies. Damn it! Like he made Mandalorian so.
Well, no, we don't know how it's gonna do without it.
I
We
know.
don't know. So let's give it.
Yeah.
Let's
I know,
give
but
it.
like, goddamn, he was so goddamn adorable, and I just wanted to come back every week and watch him.
It's very funny that you bring this up, Sam, because like I always have tabs up for every show or movie we're talking about on the podcast, and so obviously I have the Book of Boba Fett one up open, and somebody wrote, "Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus needs a baby as its villain." And I was like, it shows like a Pokemon, like, but with a blacked out. I know exactly who it is. And like, I clicked on it and it's exactly who I thought it was. And remember that really bad movie, The Clone Wars? And how the plot of it is
Surrounded by
Obi-Wan,
Yep. Okay.
yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin have to save Jabba the Hutt's kid.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's
And
right.
it's that. They're like, should be the baby villain of this show. I'm like, no.
God, I've watched that
No,
movie
it
way
I
too
don't know.
many
I kind of dig that,
I've-
like a baby, like some boss baby situation.
Just like shits
Yeah,
all over
and
the place.
it's for some reason this is also voiced by Alec
Alec
Baldwin.
Baldwin. I hear he's cheap these days.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Any final Boba Fett thoughts?
No.
We have
Okay.
a few more episodes left. I'm excited.
All
Yeah,
right,
this is
Chris.
going.
Let's talk Macbeth real quick here. Unless you've got a lot to talk about, but
No
rush.
Well, no, we can make it quick.
All right, so Tragedy of Macbeth, which recently this weekend premiered on Apple TV Plus, was previously in some theaters somewhere if you wanted to drive far enough, which I fell out of that. But yeah, so it's essentially it's Macbeth. It's the Shakespeare play adapted by Joel Cohen of the Coen brothers, though his brother Ethan is not a collaborator on this. It's just him on his own, starring Denzel Washington and
Francis McDermott.
Frances McDormand, who's also Joe Cohen's wife, so sure he had a hook up there. And it's essentially made in the production style of a 50s, 40s black and white,
Square.
Shakespeare, drama. Like it's
Like a Laurence
not
Olivier
supposed to
kind
be
of
any kind of
situation.
right. Yeah, it's not supposed to be seeming to be like real life so much as it's just kind of like sets and stuff like that. And to me, I really enjoyed it. I thought, as somebody who, like probably everybody here, everybody listening, in high school and stuff like that, we would read the plays, sometimes even do the, like, I'll call them table reads, where everyone in the class is a role, and you just kind of like go around and read them all, and no one really knows what it's saying, and you can't really pick it up. So for me, Shakespeare was always like, oh, okay, sure. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's good. You tell me it's good, I'm sure it's good. But never really like feeling it, or like understanding. But actually seeing it like played out and like acted, it really comes through.
Yes.
Like so much more. I mean, I guess like astounding to think that a play was meant to be acted out as opposed to like read. But there you go. So I really enjoyed it. I thought like Denzel was awesome. Frances McDormand was pretty good. All the little random stuff like Stephen Root showing up for like 5 minutes as the comedic relief, which pretty common in the Shakespeare plays, especially after a dark moment like killing the king. I guess we'll do spoilers on 600-year-old play. But yeah, overall though, I really love the art direction of it. I thought it was cool. I would love to see them make like another one at some point. You know, just like pick whatever and make another one of this style. I just think it's cool. You know, looked beautiful, even though it's black and white, even though it's like 4:3, you know, square frame black and white. It just looks incredible the whole time. And even just some of the sort of like movie magic things of like when he sees the three witches in the beginning and they flash from like two being in the water as like a shadow sort of to three being on land. It had a lot of like really interesting things and was just the sort of thing too where it's so sort of unique and on its own, especially as a contemporary sort of like piece of work that it sticks out. And like I wouldn't want every movie to be like this, obviously, but cool to see.
Where do I begin? Where do I begin? What is it shot? It's shot in 4:3, or is it just displayed in 4:3?
It's probably both.
Whatever it was. Wicked annoying, as always. But no, I mean,
just like the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. That was it. Okay. I don't want to go too far into it. So, you know, the first, like, after 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes, after the witch scene in the beginning, which everybody knows the story anyway. So, after the witch scene in the beginning, I just kept thinking to myself, wow, this is such a Hollywood 1%ers movie. Like, this is why they think people want to go into acting, is to do this stuff. And it just made me miserable for that, like, section of society. I cannot stand when things like this are done. I really can't. This is 100% not in my wheelhouse. At all. Like, at all. This is right in the same world as musicals. I'd say this is even, like, below musicals on my list of things I want to see. And I'm not going to lie, everything you said, I wholeheartedly agree with. Like, I read Macbeth at least 5 or 6 times. And it wasn't until that 6th time where I finally figured out what the hell was going on. It is such a visual. It has to go hand in hand. It is one of those pieces of work that need to be seen and listened to at the same time. If you're reading it, it does not make sense without a visual cue, because
the dialogue is just like so nonsensical and like Shakespeare. Like, I mean, he's trying to be poetic to be poetic,
yes,
like, but not necessarily communicate or bring the point across. So like, you need to see the other. You know, what do they say? Like, visual and like hearing people is like 95% of communication or something like that. You need that extra 5% to grasp it, and it's not that hard to grasp, but like, it's really tough to make the jump about it.
You're absolutely right. 90% of all that they say is epically useless. Literally epically useless. And that, but
it's
that's
some
just
pretty words, though.
That's just the way. That's pretty words. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Like, that's the play. But the key was to get the visual cues. Like, all right, now I know that Macduff is in this, and okay, I know he plays a bigger part in this. Oh wait, that's the guy I saw earlier. It's not just some, random casted guy that just gets washed away with the rest of the cast. I can't. I mean, it's a movie about a play. It's like a movie about a musical. You don't expect a lot. So I didn't expect anything crazy with sets. And frankly, it was kind of annoying that it's just like it's filmed that way too, where they hunt down, I forget the guy's name, but it's like his best friend, the other captain or whoever it was. They hunt.
Banquo.
Yeah, and then like the kid runs off and hides, and then the assassins are looking for him, but he's literally standing behind a wall 10 feet in front of them. Like, give me a little bit of camera work here. How about you kind of zoom out a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic that they can't see a kid 10 feet in front of them behind a tree. Like that bothers me a lot. I know it's supposed to be your play, but that's just, come on, give me a little bit. You're in movie platform here. Just give it to me.
I think I'm not even saying like you're wrong to think this, but the programming on your mind, you just got to switch when you're watching something like that.
I know, and I did. I sat through it, and you're right. Like it was interesting. It was fun to see. Like Denzel nailed it. Good.
Oh yeah, like there's this scene when he's walking up to the king's room or whatever, where it's this long, like soliloquy, and he's like walking in between these columns, and the lights like on his face, off his face, on.
Is this
like,
the dagger?
No,
Is
I
this
see
the dagger
I see a
speech?
dagger before me. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Like
Like phenomenal.
the amount of like memorization you have to do to spew some of these words out of your mouth in the order that it should be done. Like it takes a lot of work, and that's I'll give them credit for that, but it's 100% not for audiences like the masses. It's 100% not for the masses.
No,
it really is.
It's sort of the perfect streaming movie in a way.
It's one of those things where it's like a 1970s like Hollywood party where everybody goes and they're all like hoity-toity friends and they watch this movie. Like that's what this is for. I wouldn't. It's hard to translate this into a normal movie-going experience. It really is, but it's not meant to be, so that's fine.
You say that like a 70s Hollywood party wouldn't be like the most interesting thing in the world to me.
I guess it could be like everybody's coked out of their minds,
You betcha.
Sure. And then I guess they show this black and white movie. Yeah, that could fit. Look, I'm not like saying anybody was bad in this. Everybody was good in this.
No,
Everybody
it's not a movie. Yeah, it's just not one you're particularly prone to enjoy. And frankly, I was surprised how much I like vibed with it compared to. I thought I was going to be more like you, being like, yeah, sure, it works, but it I'm not going to watch it again. Like it was good.
Yeah.
I think I actually will, but I could have saw it being like we'll just say it, like a Roma, to use another prestige black and white movie.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, good, super affecting. I'll never forget that one scene, but other than that, I'm not like gonna go back and rewatch Roma. Like, guys, you want to come over Friday night? We're gonna like get some pies, get some beers, and watch Roma.
Yeah, that's not that type of movie. But look, I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. Like this is exactly what I thought it would be, and I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I truly did, this isn't my type of movie, but from what I saw and what they delivered to me, yeah, it worked. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It actually held my interest throughout the whole thing, so
Well, there you go.
that's a plus.
And it's short too, right? It's like an hour and a half.
No, it was like
longer.
more than that. It was like 145, 150.
It's no Batman, man. That's an hour under Batman.
That's true. It's a lot of Shakespeare.
So, John, I have a question for you. Have you seen
Yes.
Ian McClellan's Richard III?
Richard III. Bits and pieces. I've seen bits and pieces because it's like set when
It's
early
like
20th century.
It's just Richard III, but instead of it being, medieval England, it's 1930s England, and it's a fascist dictatorship. And it just has it has like an interesting style to it, just the way it's presented. And I think you might enjoy this. I don't even think Sean might enjoy it.
I kind of want to go back. I kind of want to check out some of the Branagh ones, because here's the thing: is like the same day that dropped, I watched the season possibly series finale of Station 11, and there's like a big Hamlet element of it. Like they actually do like a scene from Hamlet, and it's kind of like a big moment, without spoiling much. So it was a big Shakespeare day for your boy on Thursday.
Yeah.
Or what was that, Friday? Whatever.
I think you dig Richard III.
I'll check it out.
I don't know
haven't seen
where
that
you
streaming.
could
I feel like
find
that
it.
used to be on
I
HBO
don't know where
all
you
the
could
time.
find it, but you dig it.
We'll have to effort that. Maybe we'll do a special. I don't know. I'm trying to get a con pun, but it's not going to happen. Okay, Chris, what's going to be your score on that one?
8-2.
Yeah, I think I'm more or less there. Like, I'm gonna give it like an 8.5 just because like I really liked certain of the production design parts of it. Like, I just kind of like the Coen Brothers making movies from like 60 years ago. Like, I really Hail Caesar is one of those I'll just like rewatch a lot now because it's just like such an easy one of theirs to like throw on. But yeah, no, it's I'd recommend it. I think probably definitely see Denzel in the race. Although, man, it's so hard for me to like compare that performance to like any other of like a more contemporary work. Like, I don't know like what makes his performance good. Like, I could just kind of tell it's good, but you know what I mean? Versus like comparing it to Will Smith and like King Richard or something like that.
Yeah, who was the guy in the movie who was he was like not really, he was with the assassins, but he's kind of like the emissary between.
I can't think of his name. I guess too.
Is it Alex Hassel?
He did. Yeah. Oh, the actor.
Well, who's the character's name? I guess Donna. No, not Donna. Ross. Was he Ross?
Yeah. I think he's like in this adaptation, he's more significant.
Yeah.
Also, they kind of made it like very like horror movie-esque at times. Like, not the whole time, but like there was some very like tense kind of like horror vibes, which like I just kind of wasn't expecting. Even though I guess it is kind of a creepy play.
It is. I mean, it's about like killing a bunch of people.
Oh, which by the way, incredible. Like, gee, I never like even think I've seen her in anything else. But like just going the whole like Gollum witch thing, I'm like, okay.
Who?
The witch.
Oh yeah,
who
like the
played the
twisty
witch.
turny. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's when I'm like, that's when I flirted with shutting it off. It was first 10 minutes, but that's when I flirted with it. And then I sat through it. I'm like, if I can make it through this, I'm pretty sure I can make it through the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is too Hollywood acting for me. I can't.
I think you both would like it, by the way. I don't know. Maybe Sam a little bit more, but
For those two?
no, it's good. I don't think you'd regret it.
It's probably a one and done.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be.
I'm convinced I'll enjoy this. But
I'm still excited to watch it. It's just
Apple.
where or when. Yeah, like
Apple.
that's the problem. Apple. Like,
Well, just go. Take the bullet. You get a free trial. You get a free month.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just like do that.
Yeah,
Sam, do that and like gun through For All Mankind.
Yeah.
And Foundation.
And the Greyhound movie. Sam would love that.
yeah, I feel like that's just like
And Coda.
that might be one of those like one and done where like, I'm not gonna regret it, but yeah, just put on Greyhound.
Oh yeah.
I've watched that movie like 5 times already.
No, it's a good easy because it's one of those two where there's like it's just the movie. Like you really don't remember like what part. Like is this towards the beginning? Or towards the
a lot
ending?
of boats.
It all kind of blends together. Yeah. I'm telling you, Apple TV. Granted, they've spent like a shitload, but like more hits than duds. I've found.
Yeah, for $6 a month, not bad.
It's not bad. It's getting a little catalog there. There'll be some more stuff. We got like a $200 million Martin Scorsese movie at the end of the year, which was going to be wild. But we'll see. That might come in 23. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, moving on to our final presentation tonight. Pig, starring Nicolas Cage, a 2021 summer release that has recently been added to Hulu. So we've all checked it out. I watched this back in like October maybe, and then I just rewatched it again ahead of this. And Sam and Sean have also seen it. Yeah. So just to give kind of like the overview, it's essentially a movie that while marketed as like Pig Taken, is sort of on the surface that, but really not an action movie at all. It's about identity and like who you are and the importance of like food and like being together and stuff like that.
The way I just like could like if I had to describe this to someone is like, okay, imagine Taken, but instead of like guns and action, he's wielding existentialism and culinary skills.
Right. And like the best duck l'orange
Yeah.
recipe you've ever had.
It's like he breaks into your house and then like talks about the importance of, loving each other. And loving yourself.
Right. And like an unabashed fear of earthquakes.
Yeah.
I do like at one point when he's like, I think I'll move to Seattle. Then like in a second he's like, fuck Seattle. 'Cause this takes place in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, man, this movie, I'll tell you, definitely grew on me the second time once I knew what it was. It's really like a slow burn. We don't really get a great resolution. You kind of just know more about the character at the end and kind of have a better appreciation for who they are, which is kind of cool. To me, like, the standout moment is this lunch scene that he has. Okay, so essentially, he thinks someone kidnapped his pig, so he uses this vendor that he's been selling truffles to. So Nicolas Cage is this sort of recluse who lives in the woods, who no one really knows what his deal is, but, has a pig, and he gets truffles for this guy, and obviously make a lot of money selling truffles, even though you probably sell, one or two a week, because they're so hard to find. But, so the movie is essentially the two of them trying to track down the pig. There's this one point where they go to this restaurant for a lunch menu, this sort of like, everybody's talking about it, like star of the town, very high-end, conceptual, fine dining place, where, like, what are they're served like something that has to be kept like, so it's like being smoked or something, and
yeah, it's the ingredients are all found in the area, but it's all deconstructed.
Right. Nicolas Cage, like, just literally, there's this, like, crazy, appetizer that looks like it probably took, like, an hour to make and probably cost, like, $70. And he just, like, takes one of the things with his hands, like, throws it in his mouth, and he's like, okay, good, let me talk to the chef. And then they have a conversation, and they sort of knew each other before, because you sort of find out Nicolas Cage's hidden past. But he just, like, absolutely, like, dresses this guy down and, like, breaks down this whole, like, concept of like identity and like being true to yourself.
And he's not like
not true to yourself.
He's not
that
so much,
part like
he's
slowly
not like
dies.
shitting on this guy as he is just like pointing at him like,
right.
You used to dream, man. You wanted to open that pub.
Yeah. He was more disappointed.
Yeah.
You wanted to open that pub, man. And like none of these people are real. It's all about being true to yourself. Like I have to admit, I fucking loved this movie.
Yes,
this movie is so up my alley. Like, I just really dig the whole like it's taken, but we're just talking about existentialism the whole time.
Right.
And just I just love this movie, and like the characters start off as archetypes, but then they like really dig into them and are like, what really makes them act this way, and really humanizes them. Like, the kid he sells to is just a douche. But then we get into his life story, and it's like, oh, his dad is really distant to him, and he's kind of acting this way to try and get his dad's approval. And, like, the dad's really distant, but then you find out, like, he had a failed marriage, and then his wife tried to kill herself, but now she's in a coma, and he kind of blames himself for it, so now he's kind of distant. And like, the climax is he makes him that meal that the parents ate.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're expecting this, incredible showdown. Like he's gonna, I don't know, kidnap.
Like
they
even have that like, I got a list of things you gotta get. And I know people.
Yeah. No. Exactly. And, like, we've seen that movie a billion times, so we're just programmed to be like, okay, that's the connection, let's roll. And, like, kind of I'm not disappointed, but, like, I'm still kind of wanted to see that, I think like what we got was better, but like, I still wouldn't have hated
that turn and just never comes.
Right.
Yeah. Especially the way Nick Cage's career has gone in the past, we'll say 10 years.
Yeah, well,
that's the way.
Movie.
Yeah, you literally expect it.
And this is another thing you could throw into the pile of Nicolas Cage, good actor or not. because it's like,
Or
think
what
he
is
is.
the Community?
Yeah,
It's
it's-
Nick Cage. Was it? No, it's not good actor or not. It's like insanely talentedly or talently insane or something like that. But like you can't go too far into it because you will
Yeah,
then
you
become
can't go into
insane. If you actually try like looking into his career.
because like every time I'm just
Yeah.
like, is Nicolas Cage that good? He just pulls this where he plays this very subtle and like and muted performance that's just really well done. And you're just like,
I mean, because you're like, and you're so ready for it to be him
Yeah.
losing his shit and
Yeah.
just being this like old, woods guy just going into a rage and like making essentially
Yeah.
like the Northman, but like it's he's a chef.
like even at the
And,
end, and
yeah,
spoilers, at the end when you find out his pig is dead, and you just have that scene where he does break down. It's not him just like doing Nicolas Cage freak out. It's him genuinely crying on the floor just because he lost, the one thing his only friend.
his only friend.
It's like, wow, this is really well done. And the,
Are we thinking best actor nom here?
nah.
No.
I mean,
If it was
In a
anybody
fair
but
world,
Nick Cage,
yeah.
it would, maybe it would actually be in the conversation, but no, especially not for a movie
Yeah.
like this, and not Nick Cage.
Yeah. So anyways, so for me, saw the trailer, was like, wow, that's going to be really good. Then I heard that it is not Taken and more of a drama, and I was like, yeah, I dig it. I'll watch it. Just like understanding who Nick Cage's character is, where he's literally a guy whose entire world was taken away from him, and became a recluse because of that, because his wife dying and everything, and like it reflects upon how he talks about like there's a tidal wave coming,
Yeah,
and
very
an earthquake coming that's
nihilistic
going to
and-
destroy it. He's kind of reflecting on his life experience of losing his wife, who was his world. Like something happened, she was taken away, and the pig was kind of a
surrogate.
a replacement for her companionship.
Because it's revealed
and-
at one point he doesn't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
need the pig.
Right. Yeah, the trees tell him where the truffles are, as he puts it. It's just a companion. Which, I mean, anybody with a dog or, any kind of pet, like, you understand that kind of connection you have with a pet that is a companion. It doesn't matter if it's a dog, a cat, a donkey, a pig. It really doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
you make that connection. And just, like, the whole story, like you said, Sam, it's just, like, you have these characters where you feel like they're one way, and then it's just, like, you realize why they are the way they are. And it is so well done where at the end of this, like, you kind of feel bad
It's
for
like
everyone.
everyone's kind of
Like,
had
everyone
a
has had
shitty
a
life,
bad
but
life.
like at the same time,
Right.
everyone's
Everyone's dealt different.
Also, just like but we also kind of all have each other too. It's like it's not a depressing
Right.
ending, where it's just like life's kind of shit, but we kind of have each other because at the end, the last line he says to his dealer friend is "See you on Thursday." Like, we'll keep doing this.
Yeah.
We'll keep.
It's kind of a very
It's
hopeful
like-
type of ending where life, though his life is shattered again,
Yeah.
life goes on. He'll find
it's about
a way,
grieving and you
Yeah.
grieve,
acceptance.
and that's an important part, and it's always important to grieve, you
Yeah.
know, and you kind of accept it, and
Yeah.
you start
'Cause
to move on slowly, but you do.
And it, like at the end where he finally listens to that cassette that his wife made him, like he had never listened to it until that point, and it's kind of with the pig dying, kind of like is just him accepting that his wife is gone.
Yeah.
And it's I once again I also really love this movie.
I love this movie.
Yeah, no, this was a great movie. Very happy I watched it. Like I said, this was on the table for me of like, I need to watch this since the trailer came out. Like, I was excited for it.
And it's one, too, that, like, I really can't recommend enough of, like, just, like, put your cell phone down, because it's, like, a very, like, slow movie. It's an easy movie to, like, find yourself getting distracted, but, like, if you actually just kind of, like, watch it and focus in. Even in our discussion here, there's like one or two things I just didn't pick up until you guys said it. So and I've watched it twice. So.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's
a very
an hour and a
quick
half
show
movie.
Watch.
It's so nice, and it's just a very great character driven kind of story where it's just it just straight up explains why these characters are the way they are, and like identity and acceptance, and it's just a great movie.
And then there's also just like a lot of the food element too of like, you know, I mean, you're just kind of mentioning of how like the last line's like, see you Thursday, like, you know, the wheel just kind of keeps going, you know, like how I was talking about how, you know, they go to that restaurant and you see this appetizer that probably took them like an hour to make, and he just like eats it in 2 seconds, and then it's, you know, it's a thing of the past. The experience is over. It's just kind of, but at the same time, there's the, you know, it's just food. It's just, you know, a meal. It's a means to the end. But at the same time, he's also an incredible, like, craftsman and perfectionist about it. Like, even, you know, when his buddy's, like, giving him French toast, he's like, you should use, like, stale bread or something like that. Or it's best with stale bread. Like, you know, it doesn't switch off, but he's not, like, a jerk or anything at all about it. And then there's also like a couple little seasonings and sprinklings of just like weird shit too, like the Fight Club.
that they have.
I was
like, about to bring that up. Like, it has almost no place in this movie, and yet I love it.
Like, isn't like the whole time you're expecting this movie to be like a lot like darker and seedier? Like there's like you're just waiting for something to get peeled back. Pun not intended, but and that just kind of never happens. It's just like this is just sort of the world. Like
even the Fight Club thing, where it's like it's not really a fight club. It's more, you know, get the shit kicked out of you and see how long you last. Yeah, it's like, oh, so there's a lot. It's almost less violent. and
there's one scene that bothered me in this whole movie. I don't know if it's, you know, why. Well, I mean, I think I know why. It's when he goes back to his house and he just sits on that back porch with that kid that he doesn't know. It's like, where's the parent?
Well, you're a parent now, so.
I understand that, but like...
You don't want some weird homeless dude.
Imagine not being a parent and just watching some homeless guy just like sitting on your back porch.
I know. Asking like, where's the persimmon for tree?
Yeah, right.
Just explaining what that is to a kid.
Yeah,
but like, take out the kid. Like, it still, like, he wanders onto the property, sits on the back porch. Like, it's kind of creepy. Like, it's,
God, yeah.
Like, it's really weird. So,
but he's so, I mean, you know.
And then,
it's so far from what's actually going to happen in that scene.
I agree. Just going off of that scene too, we did have that Nicolas Cage freak out, like split second when he steals the bike.
Like one set when the guy walks up, he's like, ah!
He's like, rah! And then runs away.
He's got to get one in. He's got to get one.
Yeah. Well, he does that, and then when he's flipping out on the Camaro and like kicking it and punching it.
I don't know if that was a Nicolas Cage freak out.
It was close. But
it was a reasonable freak out where it's like, well, the character would do that at this moment.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like the rah! Kind of moment with the bike. It's just like, oh, Nick, love you. Can't wait for your new movie coming out soon. Yeah, so any final thoughts on Pig before we rate this?
I would just say, you know, if you're going to check it out, like I said, you know, don't, you know, just like clear your time. Like just, you know, watch it because it's really good. And I think there's like a lot there. There's like way more to it than you would think. And it's just, it's kind of nice. And, you know, I love just sort of, I mean, it's not like I never heard of Pig until I watched it. Like I had heard people talking it up, but it still feels like kind of like a little bit of like a hidden gem. And, you know, it's with just, I don't know, a lot of news coverage these days. It's still nice to like find one of those every once in a while.
Yeah.
And definitely recommend it.
Who wants to rate it first?
I'll go. I'm going to give it an 8.8, which would still be higher than my first one. So this is...
Yes.
I don't know if I'm cheating, but this is my current where I'm at.
All right, I'm giving it a 9.2.
Ooh.
Wow.
I love this movie, guys. This is so up my alley.
I gave this an 8.6. It's a really good movie. I like for an hour and a half movie where it's a slow burn character. Like it, John, you say it's a slow burn. It didn't feel slow, which was nice.
No, maybe it's more of a quiet burn.
I would say it's a
Yeah,
quiet
yeah.
burn because it like there's Nick Cage doesn't have a lot of dialogue, which helps the character.
And they are moving around too. Like
Right.
it's not like, oh, we're at this one house for, however long. Like
Right.
it is very.
Yeah.
I guess there is some of pace to it. Yeah, but
it's
Understand.
really good. Cannot recommend it enough. Especially for it being, if this was a 2-hour movie, definitely wouldn't have the same feelings.
no. Yep.
Definitely
Totally agree.
very happy it was an hour and a half.
There'd be like one superfluous like set piece somewhere or something.
Yeah, or like a subplot that is just
Yeah.
pointless to the story,
Like he has an old friend or like his wife's friend or something like that.
or like he has a kid that he needs to he wants to reconnect with, or something.
I mean,
Yeah,
you do
something
kind of get that when he goes to get the bread.
Yeah, it's
The
his old
salted
baker.
baguette. Yeah.
Yeah, but like even that I kind of liked.
Oh yeah. No, but you did need some of that because I don't
Yeah.
think you really had much at all
Yeah.
before.
Because you have an understanding that this guy was a big deal when he was a chef. Like, this guy was, like, the number one guy in the city. And then all of a sudden he just disappeared. And obviously the audience knows why. But it's, like, it's piecing together why and, everything about his world. And why he is just, like, this recluse that hates the world.
Sam, where would this be now if you were to redo your end of the year list? Would this be like a top 3 for you?
Yeah,
Top 3 movie?
Yeah, this would definitely be. Top
Would it be at the top?
It might.
Based on your reviews that I'm looking at, Sam, you rated this as high as Dune. Which
Yeah,
is your highest movie.
it would definitely be up there with Dune.
It's such a weird one to compare to Dune.
Yeah, they're completely on opposite ends of the spectrum.
It's like, did you like that ice cream sundae more, or that slice of brisket?
Yeah.
I saw an art really quick going with Dune. I saw a really stupid article where they were like, how come Dune didn't do what The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett does and use a giant LED screen for their set pieces? I'm like, because it's a fucking movie. How about that? It's not
Yeah,
a TV show.
How about they shot in fucking Jordan and then had massive sets in Hungary?
Yeah.
Okay, how about that?
Like,
how about
it's-
this is like still a super proprietary piece of like technology, guys.
Like it just pisses me off when people do that. It's like, one's a show where you're on multiple locations with Mandalorian, like multiple planets, going around different places. It's expensive to fly people to those places. So that's why they use the giant LED screen, and because it's already set up, just continue with it with Book of Boba Fett. Rather than, spending the money flying people over to, Africa or like any kind of desert, like filming in a desert, it's just safer this way. It's
Plus,
a TV
too,
show.
if it's like a space planet, like it's
Yeah.
by definition you're shooting in a locale that might not even be replicable on Earth. So,
Right. So, but like with Dune, it's like it takes
It's a
place
desert.
on it's a desert planet, but like it's a movie.
Right.
Like
they got the
movies look
budget for
different.
it.
And,
Exactly.
Villeneuve was talking about how like they filmed in Jordan because like that's the only place that has those sort of like rock structures and stuff like that where like the Fremen are. So
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think there was some intentionality, I would say,
Oh,
in
yeah.
that movie. I think they probably tried to, plan a lot of it out.
Oh yeah. But it's like just don't try like it's apples to oranges. It's a TV show to a movie. One has a big budget, the other one is a TV show. Calm down, people.
The other one still has a pretty big budget. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
For
I
a TV
agree.
show,
But it's also
not quite a Dune budget.
at the end of the day, it's also longer. So you got to save money in different places.
2 seasons of that is probably they've probably spent close to, if not more, than what they spent on Dune. Granted, one's 10 hours of television versus
yeah, exactly. It's
a 2-hour movie.
It's 10 hours, and imagine them filming on location for every location they do. It's like, opening sequence. Let's go to the Antarctic and film up there with our crew. All right, now we're off to Tatooine, down to Africa or Jordan. Like, it's just stupid.
It's
Anyways.
crazy. Yeah. Also, Dune, come back to HBO.
Oh, it's not on there anymore?
We need you back. Oh, no. Well,
when did it
goes
leave?
away for a month.
Oh,
it was only on for a month.
Right. That's right. I forgot. Because Mortal Kombat did that earlier in the year. I forgot. Anyways.
Highest rated HBO Max movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's been nice. Next week, I think we're going to talk about The Tender Bar, which is on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Chris and I have seen it. We had way too much to talk about this week, and
yeah.
still giant episode. But we'll talk about that next week. I'm sure we'll probably talk about maybe Peacemaker or Boba. We'll see. And who knows what else.
Yeah, there might be another Oscar favorite we might talk about. Who knows?
There might be. We might get the gang together and go watch some Belfast. Sunday night, Sean's house. Let's make it happen.
All right.
$20 rental. I'm in for $5. Okay.
On that note, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Knights of Nerdatude. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. All of our podcasts are uploaded to YouTube, so you can easily listen to it there. Leave us a review. Let us know if there's anything you want us to review as well. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.